Good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is David Okun. I am talking about the cost of living, and I've been talking about the cost of living uh, for more than 3 months now, for more than nearly 6 weeks. My channel has been in existence since 2012. So, what has happened so far is we have been we have been actually 10 years. We have been 10 years without doing anything on the channel. The channel have been dominant in I've been working constantly over the last um, over the last 6 weeks, and I've been talking about the cost of living, because the cost of living is a fundamental issue, and it's a crisis happening in the UK. It is also happening around the globe. The cost of living has impacted families. It has also impacted individuals. But like I said in the other videos, if you watch the previous videos I produced, you will find that the cost of living has been a problem for those who are on low income. People who are actually on high income are not necessarily affected by the cost of living, whether they are in the UK or whether they are abroad in Europe, especially in Europe. Europe being part of the developed world in the West, and in the East, we have East European, we have the West Europeans, we have the Russians. If my understanding is correct, then the Russians are actually partly European, partly Asian. Leave a comment below if you think I am incorrect, but I think I am correct. In Africa and the Middle East. The Middle East is less developed than Europeans. But if you go to places like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, and places like that, there's a lot of wealth, income per capita. I haven't done the research there specifically. If you want me to talk about the income status of the Middle East, leave a comment below. Normally, what I do a research. Research is simply finding information, and if you're looking for information from the website, make sure that you find the right websites with reputation, with the accuracy of information. The website is big. It's extremely big. And I can say to you that if you're going to go to the website, make sure that you are actually, make sure you know what you're doing. Pay attention to security. And if you're interested in me talking about internet security, I can still do a research and talk about internet security, or I can actually also talk to experts. If I know experts, I can talk to them and request to interview them, or I can do a video conferencing to make sure people with expertise in fields, whether they're social workers, economists, lawyers, or politicians, policy experts, to the extent that they have the time to share with me, to the extent that I can actually produce social video conferencing, or to the extent that I can meet them face to face to do a video. I spoke this evening to a computer engineer who was advising me on the kind of equipment. He is my friend, so he is not. He's not necessarily going to charge me for consultancy because he's my friend. We are a community in this country. I've known him for many years, and I explained to him. We exchanged a lot of good ideas. We talked about many useful things, and this is the manner of socializing. As I explained to him the advantages of the social media, and I also proposed to talk to him as a computer engineer, to interview him, and also to probably video conference with him and do a recording and share the video on this website. These are all resources relating to me and relating to this channel. And we are new, we are less than 2 months, and it takes time to gather momentum. We are small, and we are a small community. Thank you so much for those who have been subscribing, and thank you so much for those who have been sharing my video. My request is to help me grow this channel, because growth in any enterprise, in any undertaking, growth is really important. Without growth, the project actually struggles, and my channel needs to grow. And I've been asking everybody who value this video, even if you are only one. We have very few people actually participating to view my videos, and we have over 200 subscribers. And it doesn't mean subscribers will always be viewing my videos, but the advantage of social media video, YouTube channel, YouTube space, the advantage is that there are billions and billions of people actually trafficking, providing traffic on the social media, on this social media platform, and that is really an advantage. And more, the economy and the what's happened in the community, in society, will be online. We are entering into the digital age, and the message, if you're viewing this channel, you're in a good place, you're coming to the right place. If you want information on anything at all, including on the cost of living, incidentally, just to let you know, I will not just be talking about the cost of living. I will be talking about many other subjects, many other topics, and that is exciting, because I'm not just going to talk about one thing, but believe me, I will be talking about the cost of living with references to many different things. Like now, I'm talking about militarism. You may not believe that I'm talking about militarism. Yes, I am. Militarism is actually a form of conflict when people fight, when countries fight as institutions or the military system, and as these impact individuals, it actually affect peace And this is something, as members of the community, we need to be involved in understanding war. And like I said, a lot will be happening online. We are in the digital age. You are relevant if you are watching this video. If you are watching the other videos within the social media platform, within the YouTube infrastructure, and also within the other platforms like Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be talking about looking at things like I think you can also use these facilities on where if you are in LinkedIn. I've been sharing my video with my contacts or contacts actually, people I'm connected with in LinkedIn. Leave a comment below to if you are actually intending to advise me on how to promote my channel so that it grows, and speak to your family, speak to your friends. If you have seen anything you like on my channel, you can actually download my video and keep it on your system if you think the information are important. The importance of this channel actually, it actually give you an idea. It's so far it's a channel of idea and information, and you can get so many ideas. That is something I can say to you. If you're somebody who value ideas, this is what so far I've been doing. I've been giving suggestions, ideas, sharing my ideas with the community. And as far as the cost of living is concerned, the most important thing is actually to learn how to deal with the problem of the cost of living. And if you have a problem, like I've said before, if you have a problem, the best thing to deal with problems is really to solve such a problem. And I know a lot of people think problems will go away. You are not alone in thinking like that. I also think like that. I have so many challenges. And when I talk about challenges, I'm actually talking about problems. A lot of people, believe it or not, we say we have to watch the languages we use, you know. And so often, people actually talk about problems, but there are some really cool people, who will say, yeah, talk about problem, but don't call it problem, call it challenges. Be diplomatic about it. And I live in Britain. Britain is a country renowned for diplomacy. And it's no accident that Britain and the British people are actually leading the world in trade and in foreign relations, international relations. So we talk about problem, we talk about challenges. It's the same. But the language we use, let's be positive about even the worst of situations, like the cost of living. And so it's always, I say, it doesn't matter how things are so bad. It's not just in Britain, it's not just among the poor, but there is a lot of stressful situation, even for the rich. If you are rich, you may not suffer the cost of living. But it doesn't mean that the cost of living is the only problem. And there are so many different type of problems. Wherever you go, wherever you meet people, whenever you speak to them, there is always a problem. There is always challenges, especially in a modern society, like what you see in the UK, in big cities, like you see in America, you see in Europe, you see in Africa. Africa, as I speak now, some of the, the largest, the biggest cities. can find Lagos, Kampala, in Uganda, Nairobi, Johannesburg. Look at the metropolitan estates in Africa. Africa is so developed, and I know this by watching YouTube's or people who actually travel. They are traveling YouTube. I really spend a lot of time. You're going to see you actually travel with them across the globe. It's so important, and it adds value to the information given by someone like me, because I learn so much from YouTube. And so when I speak about on here, I'm persuaded that the information I give, the ideas I share, are really really important, especially about the cost of living. I've said about the cost of living that it is an income issue, and if you have problem to do with income, you solve it. It's your life, and if you don't solve it, somebody else will solve it for you. And normally, when we try to get somebody else to solve our problem for us, we are talking about the government. The government solve our problems for us, and if they don't, then we solve our problems by ourselves. I spoke about capitalism in my videos. If you watch the other videos, then you will find that I spoke about capitalism. I spoke about capitalism. I said in the other videos that capitalism is actually a system of rule. Which actually create a lot of wealth, it creates a lot of power. And we actually, as the modern societies, as contemporary generations, we live under capitalism. Capitalism is the really, really fantastic system of wealth creation. And capitalism is an investment. It's an investment. Is actually a demonstration of the genius of mankind. If you want to know that mankind is capable of doing some fantastic things, look, study capitalism, which I say capitalism has always been the mode of rule across the globe in the times past, in times recent times, and right now is expanding. Capitalism is expanding. Capitalism is actually becoming global, and we live in some really exciting times, and we are so lucky. We actually can do many things. All we need to do is actually to change the way we think. Let us change the way we think. Let us be positive. Let us be hopeful. Let us look at the bright side of life. The cost of living represents the darker side of society, the evil that our society produces. And this is happening because of the things we do, the bad things we do. But if we begin to change our mind, to think differently, to think peace, to think progress, to think relationship, if we spend more time playing, we play, we work, we think. Use your brain, use your mind. Think. We think, so we are. And this is a saying which actually we are very familiar with. We know that this is what happens if we think positively. We begin to produce positive results. If we think peace, we begin to behave in a more peaceful way. And people who actually educate their mentalities, characters, behavior, who actually moderate or even support behavior, they focus on training the mind, how we can change the way we think peace. This is a sign of hope, and this is something as a community we should be really proud of ourselves as humanity. We should be really happy, and we should actually visit our human resources, and we need to really look inside our lives. Our, you have a lot of things in you have a lot in you as a human being, and you can really do marvelous things. And if you look a little deeper, if you change the way you think, and you begin to look at your life, look inside, and discover the kind of person you are, and you are born, and there are 8 billion people in the world. You are the only one. And this is a very great source of exciting opportunities. We live in exciting moments. We have access to technology. We have access to knowledge. And if you look further, you will discover that with humanity, with our heritage, with our science, with our technology, with the financial system like the capitalism, the sky is the limit for humanity. We can build robotics, we can develop artificial intelligence, we can do great things, and we can solve problems. And I believe beginning now, looking at the cost of living as an opportunity rather than focusing at the cost of living as a problem, which it is, which I also said we can actually moderate our language and actually, describe as the cost of living as a challenge we face as society, and we are set really to take this opportunity with the cost of living as a challenge in our society. Cost of living is not the only situation. It's not the only issue. We have so many issues to deal with. Issue of children. We have issues of the family. We have issues of building our economies in the developed countries. We have an opportunity to do many things in Africa, and really agriculture in Africa. In my other video, and I'll be doing more videos focusing on Africa and speaking to some people who are actually in Africa who know what needs to be done. Every policy advisor in Africa, in reference to the cost of living, should pay close attention to agriculture as a fundamental source of work. I've already said it in the other video, I repeat it here again, that to succeed, you must work. And you may like to work, or you may like to play, you may like to make friends, you may like to help, but to succeed in all this, to play, or even to go to school, to learn, to read, to write, to speak like I do, to focus like in concentrating, because sometimes you have to really focus. Focusing is so important. If you are lucky, be in a relationship, get into a relationship, love someone, find someone to love, get someone to love you back, and that's how we humans are organized to live our life to the fullest, and we are able to do great things. And even in the middle of the cost of living is a crisis, which I see as a lot of opportunity. I've been talking about the cost of living a lot because I believe that the cost of living is a great source of opportunity. And every time there's a crisis, like the Brexit, when it occurred, it's a crisis in the UK. Occurring in the UK is a crisis because we decided in Britain to leave Europe. Britain exited the UK, the European Union. So that is where we find the terminology Brexit. Brexit, Britain exiting. So they are like a coinage, like a coinage of a word coin to describe the manner of Britain leaving Europe, which we did actually a couple of years ago now. Britain left the European Union, and it created a lot of crisis. And our Brexiting from Europe is in part the cost of living here in the UK and across the globe. Remember, I made videos in this space to say that globalization is a source of the cost of living. I said this, I made a video, and I'll be making references over and over again on globalization. Globalization is extremely important for us to really understand the dynamics of the global and all the economic, the political interactions, individual behavior, whether you're a family, looking at young people now traveling the globe with technology and information, cultural exploration. This is actually a dynamic caused by individuals, but also enhanced by the global economic and political and cultural interactions. We live in an exciting period of time, and with or without the cost of living, we should focus on really building our lives and tidying up, and also making sure that we as a people are actually focused on being the best that we are. We are humans, we are a world, our environment need protecting, our society need keeping, the laws need complying with, and government need to really be supported to administer justice opportunities. And this is us. This is our world. This is our opportunity. The cost of living is an opportunity. To listen to this video is actually part of your journey, not only to deal with the cost of living, but also to actually sort yourself out. I say this knowing that the one thing we as a society now think about the most is actually, we now think about the most about poverty, we think about wealth, we think about better life, we think about holiday, we think about traveling to Africa, the sun, the tropical sun, the beauty of the land in Africa, going into the Caribbean, having a good time. That is all good, but see, our life, because we live in the real world, we also see that it is really appropriate for us to look at the wider perspective of existence and working with our hands, working with machines, and doing agriculture in Africa, getting employment in the UK, doing self-employment. I've already spoken before about looking at self-employment. I'm looking about employment, self-employment, small and medium business. That's where you start. And if you develop your business over the years, then what happens with your enterprise is to grow. Like I said, if you look at this channel is actually an investment in intellectual property, and also it's a contribution to the economy, to actually cultural economy, economic developmental economy. And the information on social media can help people actually self-build. If you want to build your own house in the UK, you're allowed. All you have to do is get planning permission. Why not? Why don't you use this opportunity of a crisis to cut cost? And cutting costs means cooking your own food. There are people who actually don't know how to cook in this country. And ask yourself, why would you not cook? Why would you? There are people actually who go to the supermarket, people who go to Um, the smaller shops, they go there, and when they go there, they buy pre-cooked meal, which is fantastic. You come because it's quick. It's quick. You buy these things, and when you buy them, you bring them home. When you bring them home, what you do with them is that you put them in the microwave, you put them in the oven, you grill them, you fry them again, you heat this, you put them, you warm them, you warm these foods because they're already pre-cooked. They're already pre-cooked, and you buy them. They're slightly expensive compared to when you buy fresh product. The fresh product, when you buy a fresh product, raw product from the shops, you bring them home, and when you bring them home, you bring fresh product from the supermarket, from the small shop, from the street market. You bring them fresh vegetables. You buy fresh meat, chicken, beef, the pork. I mean, if you eat pork, then it's the best way to really, eat fresh meat. But if you are a Muslim or you have a faith, a religion preventing you from eating certain food, then one of the things you can do is actually to look around. There is something called halal meat. Halal meat is Islamic. Halal meat is Islamic, and people who buy there are mainly Muslim. This area where I live here, there are so many halal meat. They are very fresh, healthy product. There are a lot of Muslims in this area, so we have a lot of halal meat. They are the animals are slaughtered in a particular way, in an Islamic way, and in connection with their faith, and we respect that within law and within community. Respect people with their faith and with their families. You live at peace with people. These are actually part of the way we can begin to transform the way we live. We begin to look at our alternative to how we build our communities and how we build our families. We look at these situations and establish how we can change. This is a whole solution to the cost of living. Because as neighbors, we stop calling people strangers. We start calling people friends. Your neighbor is a mindset. It's a mindset, and we actually try to think of people as people. We stop thinking about people as strangers, and we begin to see the brighter side of humanity and focus there on building personal relationship, building your mind. If you think health, then the likelihood you're going to be healthier. By default of your living, you are actually in the first place. You are healthy. You live every day. We are so lucky as families, as societies. We're extremely lucky. The food we have, you don't really know how lucky we are as a world, as people, as animals, even as living things, even as trees. How do free tree feed itself? We don't know very much, but they actually live. And if we feed on fruits, we live. We live. We feed on meat, we live. If we drink water, we live. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We have so much endless opportunity. we can make what is good better. We can make what is better best. It is in our power to change our life, and the cost of living is an opportunity for us to start changing our life to improve the way we live. Is an opportunity for us to take responsibility. I spoke about capitalism in this country, and I said capitalism is an opportunity given by the state to empower us to take control, to take charge of our life, to an opportunity for us to change our mindset, to stop be depending on the state or depending on somebody else. We can focus on developing ourselves and partnering with other people, and to see how best we can strengthen ourselves as individuals, and also our strengthening our community, can support our family, and also contribute positively to the world we live. And this is actually the message surrounding the cost of living, and intent on looking at the way people relate, looking at relationship, looking at militarism. Militarism is actually a form of relationship at state level. When Ukraine is fighting Russia, Russia is fighting Ukraine, they are actually trying to build relationship in surprising ways. They're using warfare to build relationship, and in my opinion, building relationship through war is actually dysfunctional, and I believe that we can actually improve the way we build international relations through peaceful messaging, through peaceful infrastructuring, through peaceful relationships, and we need to modify the way we actually relate internationally, avoiding war, as avoiding conflict in terms of living with Russia, living with Ukraine, or the West living with the East, the globe living with fellow occupants of the globe. We can choose to fight our way in terms of building relationship. I would argue that culturally we need to look at peaceful method, and not only start the process of addressing the cost of living as a crisis, but also building on the opportunity created by this crisis to see how best we can begin to develop and build sustainable economic system, and fairer community, a just and fairer community, using the law. Rome, as they say, was not built in a day, and our building our global estate, as we see it, is not going to be completed in a day. We will actually take time to do this. Join me in this space and let us develop a conversation, and give me your opinion. Leave a comment below and let me know what your views are in terms of building good relationship with family, with the globe, and addressing the issue of militarism, actually trying to reduce the incidence of militarism. And I'll be talking about militarism. Been looking at some material. I will be looking at a group called the Wagner Group, which is actually a Russian private army, private military system, which are actually fighting in Ukraine. They're also fighting in Africa. They're fighting in the Middle East. And I will use that example to illustrate the point that there are alternatives, culturally at least, for the starters, to think peace, to build relationship not through war and militarism, but to build relationship through peaceful method, people negotiating, respecting one another, respecting yourself, and respecting other people, to see that these things are done in as amicably as we can. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to this channel. Speak to your family and friends and support this channel to grow. Thank you so much for helping, for your participation, for viewing this far. Thank you. Bye bye.